What's up everybody, this is Clint with Never Done Industries, and today we have a project.
My work is never done.
Now you may remember if you follow our social media at Never Done USA on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. I was talking the other day about how we are making some changes to my office/studio. What's up everybody, this is Clint with Never Done Industries. Right now we're making some changes, like I said, to my desk. I bet you can't guess what it is. How about that? And right now I have an old kitchen table as a computer desk, and it's time for an upgrade. And so this is what we have. It is an old, I believe it's a 1950, don't quote me on that, I'd have to look into it more, but 50-ish Chevrolet pickup front end. And what we're going to do with it is we're going to cut it down and put it all together and turn it into a desk. Alright, so the first step of this project was to take all this stuff from inside the garage. This is the garage that's attached to my house, by the way. You can see we got a bunch of crap in here. Don't give me too much crap about it. We haven't lived here for very long, so it's a work in progress. Anyway, so we took all this crap downstairs into the office/studio area, and we had to do a mock-up. We had to set it up and see what we actually had. As you can see here, we have a little bit of a height issue. I'm sitting on the chair behind the desk here. I'm in a computer chair, like a standard computer chair. It's lifted all the way up as high as it can go. I'm 6'4", so yeah, it sits kind of high. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we looked at all kinds of different options. What I wanted to do is I wanted to cut the hood and stuff like that. Also, for you purists who are mad that I'm cutting this up, it's just a Chevy. It's no big deal.
Chevy burn.
Anyway, so what we ended up concluding was that we need to come down at least 4 inches, and right now, if this is the front and this is the back, right now this thing's sitting a little bit raked, and I would be sitting back here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring the whole thing down, and then I'm going to drop that rake a little bit so that the hood is more flat instead of tipped up at such an angle. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to cut these rusty, crappy, bent up fenders. I'm going to take about 4 inches off of the back side of both of them, and that'll help drop that rake. And I'm going to take about 2 inches out of the front, and that'll bring that grill down onto the ground, because there's a little bit of a gap, roughly about a 2-inch gap from the grill to the floor. And so hopefully that will get us at the right height. I'm going to make these cuts. They're kind of conservative cuts. Make these cuts, we'll bolt it all back together and see where we're at, kind of go from there. All right, it's grinding time. Now I guess I just need my bitch mittens. Here they are right here. Let's go. Okay, so we have one cut, one uncut. Like I said before, we actually ended up taking a little bit more than 4 inches out because I cut like shit and I'm not any good at it at all, and I didn't have it properly supported because I'm sitting in my garage with it balanced on a bunch of crap that it shouldn't be balanced on, and so it was flopping all over the place. But it's pretty stable now. I think it sits relatively flat. It's going to be sitting on carpet, and so I'm not really concerned that it's not a perfectly straight cut. But you can see here the difference in the height of the headlights. Now remember, I only took 2 inches out of the front and I took 4 out of the back, so it's actually sitting much flatter than what this other one is. So now there's no turning back, and I'm going to try to make this one look like this one, and hopefully they will blend in harmony. Alright, it's time to cut fender number 2, but first, bitch mittens! the moment of truth to see if there's more cutting that's going to happen. So here we go. There's the one that we cut first. Here's the one we just cut. I have not stood these next to each other yet, so this is a legitimate moment of truth. Let's see if they're close. Not too far off. Cool. Well, I guess that now it is time to bolt everything back together, take some measurements, and see where we're at on our height, and hopefully we've got it. Okay, so from right here, these things look like they're pretty close. But from back where you're at, they're obviously not. So upon further inspection, I'm not done cutting yet. You can see here, this one, that corner needs to come off on the front there because they're sitting a little bit different heights. And on this one, this back corner, I came off at a weird angle, and so I need to cut the back corner off and drop it because it's a little bit high on this side. So back to the grinder. Okay, so I think that the first fender is pretty good now, so we're going to move back to the second fender. We're going to address this back corner here. I didn't get it cut flat apparently, and so I'm going to take some off of that and then just try to blend it back, and that should bring the back of the fenders down to pretty close to the right height. They don't have to be perfect because what we're doing with this, but you know, we want them where they're okay. So more cutting. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got them where they're much closer. I'm tempted to say they're close enough, but we won't know until we bolt everything back together and check the height. It was a little bit tall, and so we're going to get it all put back together. We're going to check the height and see where we're at. And if everything is good, which I really freaking hope it is, then we're going to move into clear coating this. And I'm going to wire up some LED lighting on a power inverter. I'll run it on 12 volt. I'm going to try to do something with the headlights, but I'll at least do something with these turn signals just so that it looks cool for the videos. Now down here you can see we have the sound mat material, and then we've got the lights wired up. Let me crawl under here with you. Right through here, through the factory turn signals. And what we did is just drilled them out and then ran some bulbs up in there. The bulbs are actually for theater use, for like if you're trying to mimic a fire. And then we've got the wires running, you know, right around here through these little holes, and then it comes down to a controller here. See if you can see that controller, and that controller is adjustable. Try to get the camera to focus on it. That controller is adjustable, so I can control the modes. It's got several different modes. I can control how bright the lights are, and then obviously I can turn them on and off, and then I can control how fast they blink and things. And then those just plug into a standard outlet. And we've got a little transformer box here since they're a 12 volt deal. Now the big question that a lot of people ask is, how in the world did we hook it together? Well, I'll show you. Now a hood on one of these vehicles, it's designed to sit on top of the fenders. It's not designed to be connected to the fenders, right? So what we had to do is we drilled holes in the fenders. See on these little, I don't know if you can see those where the inner fenders bolt, right there along that rail. So we bent the rail up, drilled some holes in the hood where the hood comes down to the fender, and we just ran some bolts. Now we've got 3 of them on each side, and they're not pretty at all. I'll show you the other side here. There's one, and there's one, and then there's the last one. That one had to be a long one because it was, you know, on a wacky angle. Anyway, the reason that we did that instead of bending the metal up nice and welding it and stuff is because it had to come downstairs. You can see there, had to come through that hallway and down those stairs, and so we had to bolt it together so that we could bring it down in pieces. We also we used the factory grill, and the grill, it's got little bolts on the sides there. It bolts in from the side like that. Anyway, so we unbolted the grill, so we brought down the grill and each of the fenders and the hood separately, and then assembled them down here and down these stairs and in the area where the studio is at. So that is how the infamous Never Done car desk is assembled.
Many months later.
So we had this desk, it's all bolted together, it's all clear coated, it's quiet, right? Like I can move around on it, I can lean on it, it's strong, it's not gonna be any problem. We got the lights, you know, to kind of push it up over the top. We got it placed. I did the little LaFerrari painting, that's one of our other videos. Just search through our videos for Bob Ross parody. It's a stupid video, but it's kind of funny. And we may end up putting something over here. We got the little plant and stuff. Just try to create kind of like a cool environment, you know, for the studio video, something that was a little bit different, a little bit special, and maybe a little bit memorable, you know, for you guys when you guys are watching our videos, because obviously, you know, we want you to be able to enjoy it. And so, you know, then finally, after we had the whole desk sitting here, the last thing that we had to come up with was a chair. And I got looking all over the place, and originally I was thinking I was gonna make like a king's chair, like a throne. But that, okay, that was stupid is basically what it comes down to. It was just kind of a dumb idea. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up just finding some old 2x4s or 2x6s, I don't remember which, that I had. Some boards, I had a little bit of memory foam laying around, and then I had some scrap pieces of vinyl that looked kind of like leather. Went out there into the shop one day, you know, spent an hour or two, whatever, threw this chair together, and that way I was able to set my height just right. And you know, that was kind of the end of it. And here we are, you know, today, and we've got a finished product that I know that I enjoy, and hopefully you guys enjoy it too. Okay, so hopefully that answers everybody's questions about the Never Done car desk. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you have anything to say, please feel free to comment down below. Yes, I do read those. Yes, I do, you know, respond back to them. Also, please like the video and consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, then obviously you want to click on the little bell icon so that you get, you know, updates every time we put out a new video. And do not forget to please go to our website, www.neverdoneusa.com. Check out the stuff that we got. We got a whole bunch of cool car guy stuff. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.